But Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that we need to fund the border, well, she needs to go talk to her master, AKA Donald Trump, who specifically said, do not go through with the border bill. And that's the only reason they don't have anything. So if she has a problem, she needs to go talk to Donald instead of blaming her speaker. And all
members are reminded in House Decorum.
And also, she's talking really big talk about how she believes in governance. And so that's why she wants to be responsible, because she cares about the institution. She didn't care about the institution on January 6th or even after January 6th, as she continues to support those that were trying to tear us down. So I don't really have much patience for Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has done everything that is the opposite of anything that will keep this country on track. I really hope that her district is paying attention and they decide to pick someone else.
You know, sometimes when you find out the truth, I just need 60 seconds of your time to tell you something. When I was growing up, there was a series on TV called The Mr. Men. We need to add a new character, Mr. Desperate. Mike Johnson is beyond desperate. He's the sort of person that needs likes, needs retweets, all of that social media stuff that boosts his ego.
The story of Mike Johnson is the story of a collaborator.
Is nothing there. He is like the most insecure politician you can imagine, where he even has to bring along Elise Stefanik to butter his backside. His policies are here, there and everywhere. He says whatever he thinks he needs to get the attention of the former guys. Plays any card, has a black son.
My wife Kelly and I, when we were newlyweds, we took custody of a young black kid in Baton Rouge. We were living there. Michael, he's our son. He
hates homosexuals, plays the religious card. You tell me right now, in one sentence, one word, sum up Mike Johnson. Oh, that one's easy. FOS. We have a better description.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. The House has worked its will. These are not normal times here in the House or around the world, as we all know, and we had a disturbance here on the House floor just a bit ago. I just want to say simply what I think most people around the country understand and agree. We should only wave one flag on the House floor, and I think we know which flag that is. I said these are not normal times. They're not. The world is destabilized, and it's a tinderbox. It's a dangerous time. Three of our primary adversaries, Russia and Iran and China, are working together, and they're being aggressors around the globe. And they're a global threat to our prosperity and our security. Their advance threatens the free world, and it demands American leadership. If we turn our backs right now, the consequences could be devastating. So this afternoon, the House acted, and we sent over to the Senate, and it will be transmitted shortly, our supplemental national security legislation. And make no mistake, this is not a blank check like the Senate supplemental bill was. This is very different. Instead of taking the path of least resistance and bringing up the Senate supplemental on the House floor, or just allowing a discharge petition to pursue, which would have had the same outcome, we gave our members a voice. We gave them a chance. We gave them a better process and ultimately a much better policy. Unlike the Senate's blank check, the House legislation has a number of very important features. It provides for greater accountability over Ukraine aid. It forces an endgame strategy for the Ukraine war. It includes a loan instrument of this foreign aid to Ukraine and the Repo Act to ensure that Russian assets pay for part of the bill. And unlike the Senate's bill, the loan system itself is a House innovation and allows for much needed insight. Now remember that 80% of the Ukraine funding will go to the replenishment of American weapons and stocks and our facilities and our operations. It also includes tough measures and sanctions on Iran and Russia and China, which most of the American people understand is a necessity and a very important thing. Our process in the end ensured that each member was able to consider the individual supplemental elements on their own merits, which is exactly how the House is supposed to work. I know there are critics of the legislation. I understand that. It is not a perfect piece of legislation. We're not ensured that in a time of divided government and in a time where there are lots of different opinions. But there is no question whatsoever that the House has made many strong improvements to the Senate bill, and the product that we've sent over there is much better. This package, I will note, because it's very important, also includes national security priorities, and many of them, but it is the only way that we could have gotten Democrats to support aid to Israel. And that's a fact. There is a lot of misinformation out there about the bill, and I just want to make one point about one issue that has been drawn a lot of attention, and that is, could any of this funding go to Hamas or to terrorist organizations or what have you? And we put safeguards in the legislation to ensure that UNRWA is not funded, the UN agency that included terrorists who participated in the October 7th attack on Israel. We've also have language that prevents it from going, any of the funding going to Hamas or any other bad actors. That's a very important element of oversight. Congress takes the oversight very seriously, and we will continue to keep an eye on every dollar that we are using and investing at this time. I've said it very simply. I'll say it once again. It's an old military adage, but we would rather send bullets to the conflict overseas than our own boys, our troops. And I think this is an important moment, an important opportunity to make that decision. We allowed the House to do that, and I expect the Senate will make the same decision. One or two questions.
What is your message to those?
You're being asked to resign. Will you, Jeffries, about that, and do you plan to if it's brought?
No, listen, as I've said many times, I don't walk around this building being worried about a motion to vacate. I have to do my job. We did. I've done here what I believe to be the right thing, and that is to allow the House to work its will. And as I've said, you do the right thing and you let the chips fall where they may. So I will continue to do that.
That you made a brave step, but at the same time, why it took too long for aid to Ukraine, and maybe too long? Why you decided to do it right now?
Listen, the House had a lot of important work to do here. We had to get the government funded in our appropriations process. We had to reauthorize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. We had a lot of important measures that had to be done, and we got to this as quickly as we could. This is an important matter. I think it's timely. I think you've heard from leaders around the world, including in Ukraine, that this is being done on a timely basis, and the House had to have the time to deliberate and do this in the right manner. I think we did our work here, and I think history will judge it well.
You don't have to be afraid. This weekend, Trump went crazy on social media. Sounds about normal, right? But this time, he was targeting the judges overseeing his criminal and civil trials, asking, how many judges do I have to endure before somebody steps in? Somebody steps in? To do what, Donald? To attack the judges? To kill them or their families? He told a violent mob that attacked the Capitol, be there, we'll be wild.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
He told the Proud Boys to stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
He told us these were good people in Charlottesville.
Very fine people on both sides.
Now, he's putting the lives of these judges and their families in danger. He knows that his followers are just waiting for the signal. So when the attack comes, you'll know who ordered it. We've said that Donald Trump is corrupt. We've told you he's an authoritarian. We've said that he's dangerous. But we've never said he doesn't know exactly what he's doing.
If you ever wanted a better example of how the two political parties right now appear to be literally at opposite ends of how to get the job done, just watch this clip. You have one person, Tom Zuzman, I think, is being a representative, talking about policy, and some shouting, screaming clown who's, oh, Trumpy Trump. What a surprise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Swanson is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Roy, the histrionics and the hyperbole are not working. You just said so yourself. It's not working. We're about to pass. It's not working. It's not working. The bottom line is...
The gentleman will suspend. House will be in order.
The bottom line is that
This is pretty incredible. Research and focus groups happen in so many different areas of life. You would actually think from pollsters, when they're doing some research into people's political habits and thoughts, the number one thing that would happen is you would listen to what the person whose political opinion is probably different from yours, who you may disagree with. So at least listen to what they got to say before you start shouting and screeching back and talking all over them. But no. It's not what's going on right now with the Trumpy Trumps. They just don't want to know.
Was Obama. I couldn't stand to watch that guy. He just looked down on top of everybody. Trump will get down in the dirt and work with you.
So
Obama
you
would never have done that.
You want respect, but you have a president who takes on women, minorities, everything but white
you know what?
males.
He won the election. And he won.
He didn't get
and
the
you guys
popular
can't
vote.
handle that.
He didn't.
I don't know why he's racist. You have to ask him. Because he sits up and he says, all those Mexicans are rapists and murderers. Okay, and then, yes, he did say that. Yes, he did. Can I finish my, I didn't say that. You're talking about, I'm talking about when he was running.
Yeah, I know. He said they send the worst among them. Some of them are rapists. Some of them are drug dealers and murderers.
They asked me.
And I asked the question is, what exactly is it that they are so angry and so annoyed about if they're only shouting, only talking, only being rude, only stopping anybody having any opinion unless it's theirs? How is that actually, I'm being serious here, how is that actually going to get anything solved?
Is our democracy in danger of failing? Raise your hands if you say yes. Wow, I'm shocked at how many. Does anyone here, by a show of hands, think our democracy is truly strong? You got two people, that's it.
Two hands.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. I don't know what to do about it. This is my craft. This has been my trade for the last 30 years. I've been seeing this get worse and worse. 74% of Americans now say they're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore. 83% say we're more divided than we've ever been. Even people 65 and older, old enough to remember the killing of Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, our cities burning down. They say this is the most divided it's ever been.
They're mad as hell. They're not going to take it anymore. You said, what, 74%? But why are they mad? Can they articulate why they're mad?
Yes, they believe they've been ignored, forgotten, and the worst of all, betrayed. And I'm paying attention to the words and phrases they use because the stronger the language, the greater the anger. And I've seen this and I feel this, and I'm reminding them, your children are watching, your friends are watching, and they don't care anymore because they want to own the opposition rather than change the opposition.
Or talk to the opposition. Really quickly, too, because I do want to get to one other topic with you. The younger voters you spoke with there who see the democracy at risk, only 2 of them said that democracy is strong. Where are they? Are they mad as hell? Are they just throwing up their hands? They want to try to change anything?
They don't like anybody.
Has anybody got any answers? And even though it's total chaos, a real mess that even the emergency services would probably struggle trying to work out where to start with, fear not, it's going to be okay. Watch this. It's about 4 to 5 minutes. Please, please, please watch it and give me your answers. What the heck, and I mean what the heck, underline the H, is going on?
Such this enemy, he isn't doing anything. He just wants back what was his.
But he invaded
What was his.
he invaded Ukraine,
That's fine.
killing thousands of people.
That's fine.
You can't, I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day. This guy has got to work at, and his handlers have got to work at being wrong all the time. So now you've got, of course, we see this war between Israel and Iran, Russia and Ukraine, and North Korea is looking for some attention, God help us. China's eating our lunch. And it's just a remarkable dynamic. And I think there's now more and more people saying that they feel dumb and embarrassed for having voted for Joe Biden. But that's what fear does to you. This is why it was this demonizing of Donald Trump, trying to make you think that the world is going to end. And lo and behold, the world did end because of Joe Biden.